I think I realised that addiction was affecting me when I first went into alcohol withdrawal. Um, I was at home and I started sort of hearing things and then seeing things, and I actually thought I'd lost my mind at that point. I didn't think that it was anything to do with alcohol, and so did my mum, until we got to hospital, and then they told me what was going on and how it was affecting me, and that I was bodily dependent and addicted. It was so bad at one point I could go without a drink for about half an hour before I'd start withdrawing, so it was quite bad. I wasn't used to the whole concept of living communally with people and stuff like that, but I think when you're at a point when you know for a fact that you can't do that on your own, you can't sort of stop drinking completely on your own, because it's very much mental as well as physical and stuff like that. So I kind of came to the decision that even if I was terrified, I have to do it. And when I came here, within the first 2 days, I was in cloud, like, it was great. Thanks to it, I was going to say on cloud nine. It was amazing. Basically, it's one of the best. It's weird, it's been about 3 years now, but it's one of the best experiences I've ever had. And the tools that I picked up here have kept me sober for this long, 100%. I'm happier than I've ever been, really. Day to day, sort of wake up, go to registration, which is really chilled. Well, it was when I was here, it was lovely. We just go in, sit in our little chairs, say you were there, and I think you say a feeling word in the morning most of the time, which is always quite funny because some people would reuse them, and I don't know. Anyway, but it's weird. Obviously, it's going to be quite a terrifying prospect to come somewhere that's away from everything you know and everything like that. But for me, there were days that were difficult. Of course, there's always going to be. But every day I was here, I was thinking this is an investment in my life. So being here is an investment. It may feel like you're wasting time. It may feel like I could be somewhere else, but the fact is, what you are learning when you're here will save your life, and it will make you so much stronger. I can't even sort of explain it. And the therapy I received here, hands down, helped me deal with a lot of demons I had, and a lot of coping strategies that I thought would help me before I realised don't. And also just accepting it's okay to sort of accept help from people and to let them take the reins for a bit. Not have all that responsibility on your head, or the feeling that you've got to sort of fix yourself. Just trust in it. Trust in the system. Even on days when it feels like it's not right for you, just trust in it. We are in the art hut, which I was here, I think I came here in October, early October, 16th of October, I think. And I was here until January 16th, I think. And it was a bit tough. Obviously, there was the holidays and stuff like that. But when I would come here and draw and, I don't know, draw and paint, and I actually started doing like caricatures of people who were residents, which is quite fun. But I hadn't picked up a pencil or a pen for years before I came here. It was something I used to do when I was sober, when I was younger, that I absolutely loved. And this place sort of really gave me solace, I think. And it took me out my own head. That's the main thing, because you spend a lot of, as I don't know, other addicts, but I spent a lot of time in my own head, overthinking, remembering things that I didn't necessarily want to remember. But when I was here, when I was drawing, when I was doing something that I enjoyed, it completely took my mind off it, and it made it so much easier. And I loved every minute of being in this hut. It was wonderful. I was here, I think, obviously I was here for 3 months. I think I got to my 2nd month and realised that going home would have been a step backwards. Old environments and and stuff. Even though it was comfortable for me to go home, I didn't want to. I knew that I had to find my own way and stand on my own 2 feet for the first time. And I knew that I could only do this alone. I can't rely on other people to. I mean, it's helpful to have other people, but you're the one who does the work at the end of the day. So I left. I spoke to Kenward here, and they told me about a move on project, which was a house, weirdly, in a town that I lived in for most of my life, and where my best friend lived, who was also not a drinker. So I moved there. I was there for about a year. Again, absolutely loved it. It was great. The staff at Kenward was so supportive and helpful, and it was just wonderful. And it was all affordable as well. That's another thing people kind of worry about, is the money aspect to it. But I mean, as a person who isn't well off or anything like that, it was really affordable and just nice, because you're in an environment with people who are in the same boat as you. But when you go into the Move On project, you get put onto the council, your local council sort of list to get your own place, and I did that. And within, I can't remember, it wasn't very long, and a flat came up and I got it, and I was over the moon with it. It was the first place that's ever been mine to own, well, not to own, but to rent. And just everything has changed. Before I came here, I was yellow from liver damage. I didn't have any self-worth, anything like that. Now I have my own flat. I learned to drive. I've got my own car now. I've written a book, which is coming out in January, and that's about addiction. I've got hamsters, which I never thought I'd have. I didn't think I don't know why that's important, but it's just weird. I've got a girlfriend, but again, I waited a very long time before I even jumped into these sorts of things. These are things that you have to wait till you're ready to do. But it's just, I cannot say enough that if you just told me 3 years ago that I'd be where I am now, I would never have believed you, ever. But it is 100% possible. And even if you think, you know what's going to happen in the future, I promise you don't. You never do. And the best thing that could ever happen to you could happen to you tomorrow, it could happen to you next year, but you just got to hold on and wait and see, and it will sort of materialise if you do the work. If anyone is experiencing addiction issues or mental health issues which come hand in hand with addiction, there's one thing I say is hold on, always hold on, because things get better. And the other thing is always be as honest as you can with the people around you. And it's difficult to do when you're an addict, because lying is ingrained in us, from hiding drink to finding ways to get money to get drink or drugs or anything. Just be honest. The people who love you in your life will always accept you and appreciate your honesty. So always be honest with people, and it's only through being honest that you can get help. I had to one day just let someone take over, because I could not hide it anymore. I couldn't do it on my own anymore, and just know, you gotta know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There always is, and you're not alone, because I felt so alone at certain points that I thought I just wanted the world to swallow me up. But you're not alone. There are thousands upon millions of people out there who are in the same boat, and some of these people get better and help people like yourself, and that's what Kenward did for me, whether it be ex-addicts who work here or not. Some of the best advice I ever got from people was here, who were, some of them were ex-addicts, some of them weren't. So just trust in it, be open and honest, and always just hold on and wait for that light at the end of the tunnel, because there is one.